Welcome to the Founderville.vc podcast. So this is a podcast where we talk to founders and entrepreneurs and people in the entrepreneurial ecosystem. Heck, just anybody that loves supporting founders. Today I'm joined by a good friend of the podcast and a good friend of Founderville, Mr. Jami Mullikin of Wonder. Jami, welcome to the podcast, buddy.
Thank you for having me, Shay.
It's good to have you here.
I know, this will be fun. We've been trying to catch up for lunch.
I know. I wasn't sure if you were getting my emails. I'm like, this guy's dodging me. A lot of people dodge me nowadays because I'm out asking for money.
Yeah.
Because I've always found that interesting. The more capital I try to raise, the more people just don't seem to get my emails.
Yeah.
I'm like, how is that happening? Like, you usually get my emails. Then when I'm asking for money, like, it's crickets.
Yeah. Well, I'm not asking for money, but I'm asking, friends to let me help them.
For business.
Which is asking for money, right?
Same thing.
The same thing for me.
It's a more subtle way of doing it.
Yes.
I have no subtle approach, unfortunately, when I'm asking for capital for a fund. It's like, I'm calling you because I'm looking for $200,000 investments. Are you interested?
Yeah.
Just give me a yes or no.
Yeah.
Please no maybe. Oh, Lord. Well, man, it's great to have you. Sorry about the weather. Appreciate you coming out in the rain and everything. But tell us about Wonder. Tell me what you're working on. You've been around the block a long time with a lot of different companies and a lot of different functions. But tell us about Wonder and some of the value you're creating for your customers today.
Yeah, so going back, I'm an entrepreneur, and whatever that label has come to be. But, started a business when I was 26 and did that for 12 years. And decided to do it all over again at 52.
Yeah.
And quickly learned, man.
What am I doing?
Yeah, I don't have the same energy I did back then, and I am in a young man's game.
Yeah.
So I had founded an agency, did that for a while, went corporate into some different marketing leadership roles. Ended up back at a friend of mine and, Adam Landrum's agency. Mm-hmm. So in 2019, joined him for a while. And got introduced to EOS with him, and I was his integrator for about 3 years. And it was just fun. It brought it simplified a lot of the complexity that businesses, naturally have. And so then after COVID, turning 50, I was just like, honestly, having a paycheck at 50 scared the hell out of me.
That'll get your attention.
Yeah, I was like, no, I got about a decade. I think I got some energy. Yeah. I got to go do something again.
Yeah.
So, through really just throwing up a consulting shingle, and there's a meandering path that led me to start Wonder. But I met my my co-founder, Mark Henderson. He was in Charlotte, and the thing I've always really enjoyed about running an agency is the entrepreneurial energy in a creative agency, but then working with other entrepreneurs, right? Yeah. It's like we get to support organizations and bring some experience and some structure to how they think about marketing and sales.
Sure.
But the void has always been media. Media is it's a really hard discipline.
Yeah.
And when I met Mark, and he had had a career in running sales in SaaS, and then that led to running an e-commerce company, which for almost a decade, like doing the media and everything to grow an e-commerce company for a large other company. So he started this e-commerce unit. And then he ended up in the agency side an agency got bought by an agency, and he was a director at Publicis, which is one of the big four agencies. And he actually, when I met him, he was like, man, I don't want my hands off the keyboard. He's like, I love doing the work. And now I'm just a floating subject matter expert across this sea of massive agency stuff. And he said, if you've ever got an opportunity, to do something, I'd be interested in doing it. So we sat down and started Wonder. Yeah. And really, bringing my background from a creative brand strategy and lead gen, specifically in B2B, with pairing with his, managing what we estimate is over $500 million in Google ads. Like, he has managed a ton.
Wow.
And so just had that opportunity for two very experienced marketers who love B2B.
Yeah.
To start something. And we didn't have a grand vision. We just said, let's try this for 90 days and see where it goes, and let's try it for another 90 days, try it for another 90 days.
Yeah.
And I held off for a while because I knew it was hard. Being a small agency and growing is hard. But we've been blessed. We're 3 years this April.
That's awesome.
We have our 10th employee starting.
Dang,
on
no
the 9th.
kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
good for you.
And are working with mostly B2B tech brands.
Okay.
The vendor side, as well as the VAR and the channel side. We do have some like a Microsoft consulting partner. That's one of our clients too. But through our background, we still have some legacy real estate clients that Warren's my head of operations, and that he and I just old relationships. I have a client that I've had for 20 years now.
Right.
And then Mark's e-commerce keeps bringing us some e-commerce stuff. But we're really primarily focused on B2B, but have huge depth in real estate, destination marketing, and e-commerce.
That's awesome. I can't believe you're up to 10 people. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
When you, I mean, the agency business has changed so much in the last 3 years. I mean, the last year has just been nuts for marketing in general. And I think one of the common refrains I hear from all the founders that I talk to is the challenges related to B2B marketing, B2B sales, just lead gen, demand gen, how to do it. And it's just changed. It's like drinking from a fire hose, trying to keep up with all the providers and service providers of whatever expertise AI-driven lead gen tool that they've got. I mean, how are you navigating that world right now?
I mean, obviously CRM is core to any kind of rev ops, right? If we've got a database, we want to nurture it, we want to generate leads into that database, we want to have a sales pipeline. So I am a Salesforce junkie, but most of our clients are in HubSpot, so we're a HubSpot partner now.
Okay.
I spent the bulk of my tenure in Salesforce. And then we're an Apollo partner, so understanding the biz dev side of things. And then really the thing, where we are right now today as an agency is we're building websites, brand new websites right now. That's the last time we'll ever build them this way.
Yeah.
Because 6 or 9 months from now, web experiences are going to be different, and we're not there yet. It's moving that fast.
Okay.
So, as much as I spend in all my tools, I spend so much time in Lovable. I mean, I'm building internal apps weekly. So there's just so much potential, but we're waiting on those client use cases to be like, hey, here's something we really need, and now we can fill those voids with, some not enterprise grade apps, but it's really easy now. If you know how software works, you know how to scope it.
Yeah.
We're building tools for ourselves that are just super cool and super fast.
You're a vibe coder now.
I am, man. I'm a junkie.
I've been using Manus.ai, which is bought by Meta, and I am blown away how much time I use it, like how much time I've spent for presentations and just a lot of different. It's crazy what all it can do. I'm like, I cannot believe this would have been a full-time human or 2 humans like a year ago. And now I don't need a human. I've got this thing. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, now in all my apps, I actually have a change log where once we publish something, then I track as I make changes so everyone can see it. And I enter all my time. And like the one we're running our business on, I'm at 34 hours. Right?
That's nuts.
People see it and they're like, how in the heck?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that should have been 1,000 hours worth of development time.
I asked it how much it's worth.
Yeah.
And it told me it would have been $150,000 to $250,000
to build that tool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Let's back up a little bit. I mean, because you've been through the agency business a long time. I mean, we're like I said, we're seeing just a sea change in that business. I mean, what are you seeing today that's so much different from where it was even 10 or 15 years ago?
I think the 2 things that AI is yet able to replace is taste and discernment. And I think there's a ton of things where highly repetitive things and stuff like that are easy to replace. But the more, even if you go back 18 months ago, and you think about the early image stuff that was doing, and people were using AI images, like everybody got tired of them, right? It fizzled out. So like some of that stuff where we start seeing the production, what we think is quality level marketing work, everybody starts looking the same, right? So I think that's already a pattern that we're seeing.
That's interesting.
So I think that what it's allowing us to do, we definitely use a ton of ChatGPT for copy, but we've got good writers who know how to use a good tool to make better copy. I think that just the tools by themselves don't have the taste or discernment to know what to ask for and what to get out. So I think our ability just to write copy and stuff has gotten much quicker. I used to joke, like we were working with copywriters coming up with a campaign or something. I was like, just don't bring me something that I have to combine a Chihuahua and a Prius with, right? We don't have the budget to go figure that stuff out.
Right.
Now you do.
Yeah.
So, we just did a trade show campaign for a client at the Microsoft conference in October of last year and slayed it. And it was because we had an idea that we were able to execute with Nano Banana and Gemini to actually create these really cool illustrations that then we could export out and then illustrate on top of, you know, but the clients wouldn't have had the budget and we wouldn't have had the time, you know, a year ago.
That's nuts.
So I would say for us, it's helping us do things we've always wanted to do, but the client couldn't afford or we didn't have the time. And then it's helping us, you know, do the things we never were able to get to, you know, like things like SEO copy and just really all the high volume things. You know, we're not writing blog posts and that type of stuff for everybody in it, but just the production and the speed. And honestly, I would say from our team, traditional art directors, now we're building full stack creatives. So our creatives are now using the tools. They're great designers, great brand strategists. They're writing copy. They're doing image generation. Like we are trying to build full stack teams instead of traditional. I got a writer, a designer, and developer.
Okay,
like let the tools make those individuals do all of those things.
It's interesting to think about. Like you have 10 people today. That probably would have been 25 people 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because of the tools. So, I mean, all the team are using a variety of tools now to just leverage their time and to create efficiency.
Yeah, we actually took headcount has only been on our we run on EOS, so our VTO, because we know the complexity that, you know, 6, 12, and 18, there's just complexity in growing an agency at those milestones. So we wanted to get 18 people because we knew that gives you enough scale to not have all the pain points of tribal knowledge and just bottlenecks. But we've taken that off because we don't know. Like a year from now, I mean, we got an awesome team and we're doing amazing stuff. We're punching above our weight. But I'm just like, well, let's just see where this goes.
Yeah, we keep building this way.
Yeah. But I definitely don't have a fear of AI being a threat to our business.
That's it. Okay. It's, I mean, in the press, like in the news, you know, every time Claude they do some new thing, it's like, you know, legal's getting disintermediated and marketing agencies and, you know, and it's all this talk of that. But here you go, are building this agency and growing and expanding using the tools to produce a better product for the client.
Yeah. I mean, all that stuff's black and white. There's a lot of right and wrongs in that.
Yeah.
We've always struggled, you know, demonstrating value because we're subjective, right? It's like, all right, well, we're coming up with ideas. What's the value of that idea? Well, the only thing AI can do is recycle ideas that other people have already come up with. So that the novelty of really being a great agency, you know, thinking strategically, helping clients really, you know, create big ideas that get attention and drive relevance, you know, to generate revenue. Like, I don't see AI doing that. You know,
what's the bulk of your business today? Is it helping people with go-to-market or lead gen, demand gen? Is it branding? Is it all of this?
Yeah. So we call ourselves a marketing and media agency, and because we are looking for long-term client relationships. And the way we work is we work with clients to establish in the first 90 days of that relationship what a 3-year picture looks like for sales and marketing, because we have to give ourselves a runway and we have to let them understand that this is going to take time. But we work mostly with companies, say, $5 million to $3 billion. So we're not really doing too much in the startup space. I think I enjoy that space, but without product market fit, there's just, you know, there's a lot of testing. It's hard to commit, you know, but once someone has product market fit and they're trying to grow or scale, then that's really where our sweet spot is. And we just, you know, look at what are the marketing issues, where you're having challenges, and then come alongside them. And, you know, our promise is we're going to get you momentum in the first 90 days and make you a mature marketing organization in 18 months. Okay. Just because it takes time. You got to build this foundation brick by brick.
Sure. Repeatable sales motion. Is like that's the dream of every startup. It's like how do we get a repeatable sales motion? I was talking to a founder today, and he's pulling his hair out, you know, because he's doing the grind. It's like he's on LinkedIn, he's doing email, he's making phone calls, he's showing up, and then none of it's scalable, none of it's repeatable. He's trying to learn from the clients. Like, what does my product even need to look like? Like, what feature sets are important? And I don't think there's a way to bypass that. I mean, it's just you got to go through that to figure out like how to design the product and the feature set.
Yeah.
And figure out how to price it.
Well, and I mean, my common thing when business development seems to be the topic right now. I don't know if you're seeing that, but everybody's like biz dev. Had a call with someone, need biz dev. And my first thing is, it's hard.
Yeah. It's just hard. Yeah.
Biz dev is hard,
Yes.
And like we've got all the tools. We've got HubSpot set up. I track all my pipeline on that. We've got Apollo.
Yeah.
And we've got email news. I mean, we've got all the things, and I got everything set up. And I'm like, I'm just getting ready to get ready. And then last week I was like, screw this, brute force outreach, 25 outreach. I booked 5 appointments. Yeah. I was like, just forget about automation.
I can do that. Yeah.
I can just go do my thing. You know. So I think at scale, that all the tools help when you're trying to, have a team and scale a team.
Sure.
But when you're a founder trying to outgrow founder-led sales, the only way to do it is sell yourself out of it.
It's super, super hard.
Yeah.
It's tough to watch them go through that struggle, but like I haven't figured it out. I don't know what to tell them other than you gotta grind through it.
Correct.
I use Apollo for outreach. I don't have a CRM. For like the fund and what we do for outreach to raise capital. But I use Apollo. But I had to figure it out. Like I just like literally. I remember I did one email campaign, and a buddy of mine in Charleston's like, Shay, I'll pretty much respond to any email you sent, but like this email needs work. I was like, God, that's embarrassing. Jeez, this guy's in real estate. I'm like, man, I feel like a loser. I told him I'm trying to learn this outreach program and like how to work it. Yeah. But like you just got to get in there and kind of throw your hat in the ring and try it.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's efficiency is a word I fight. Yeah. Anytime I hear it, I'm like, focus on it being effective before efficient. Yeah. If you can't sell, automating not being able to sell is not going to help.
That's not going to help. No. You're still sending emails from a black hole. Oh Lord, that's funny. What? So you guys, when did you become a fan of EOS? Shifting gears a little bit.
Yeah. So it's a cool story. So. We skipped over kind of the beginning, but I did start an agency, I was 26, did that for 12 years.
Okay.
Long story short, 2008, Lehman Brothers was my largest client.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we were shot dead overnight.
Oh, man.
And so 2008 was like,
Which company was that?
That was Hill Mullikin Marketing.
Okay.
So that was me and Chris Hill.
Okay.
And we had spun out, I was a founder at Fuel and then had spun out of that to do a real estate sales and marketing startup with some guys that went well. And then Chris and I spun out of that and created Hill Mullikin. And that's a little bit of my pattern is I don't necessarily reinvent, but everything was an evolution to the next thing, including how I ended up here at Wonder now. But once all that happened, I went corporate for a decade. And I ended up at Keymark for 5.5 years with Jim and team. Yeah. And I was running sales and marketing there. And really just got that itch to do my own thing again. Yeah. And I reached out to, I gave Keymark a notice. It's like, hey, I'm going to go do my own thing, but I'll give you, I think it was probably a month or a month and a half. And Adam Langer was the first person I met with. Okay. And I met with him as I was calling on him. And we had breakfast, and he heard me out. And I don't know if you know Adam well, but he's a good listener, and he heard me out, and he goes, don't do that. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, I'm doing this thing called EOS. You're an agency guy. I'm an accountant. I've owned an agency 20 years, and I'm exhausted. And he said, I've just started committing to this EOS thing, and I'd love for you to come be my implementer. And that was on a Tuesday. And my last day at Keymark was the Friday before that. Yeah. This was Tuesday morning at Eggs Up Grill in Augusta. And he gave me a copy of Get a Grip. Okay. And he said, read this. And I had no work to do that week, so I read Get a Grip. And Get a Grip is the fable of EOS. So Traction is the textbook.
Yeah, okay.
Get a Grip is the fable of a company that was a mature organization that was a VAR/systems integrator with $15 million in recurring revenue and $15 million in services. There were about 100 people, and they had hit a ceiling. Mm-hmm. And I read that, and I was like, oh, my God, this book that's Keymark. Was the exact same business model, right? Yeah. So I read that right when a time where Keymark's an awesome company. I had a ton of fun. There were great people. But when I read that book, I was like, man, I've just lived through what hitting a ceiling looks like. And so I went with Adam, and it stuck for me. One of my, I guess, talents is making complex stuff easy to understand. Like, how do we figure out whatever this nuanced business is that you have, whatever brand you have, and how we break that down to something super simple that your prospects can understand and see value in. And I think EOS on the surface is something that people may get scared of, think it's a process of bureaucracy, and EOS is freedom.
Yeah.
That's really what it brings. It simplifies the complexity of a business. It harnesses the human energy, and it brings the founder freedom.
Yeah.
And so through that journey, of being the integrator for Adam, formally, we rolled out with an implementer out of Asheville, Charlie White. Just over that 2 years, I just was like, man, this is, for the way I think and the way I operate, this is exactly what I need.
Is that part of your offerings to your clients today?
So we don't do, we do not offer any EOS services.
Okay.
We run on EOS,
Yeah.
and we've created, really EOS gave me the language, but my approach to running marketing and brand for clients, we've created what we call a marketing operating system.
Yeah.
And really what that is we help clients, when we bring on a new client, the first 90 days, we dig in. And, when you hire a new VP of sales or VP of marketing, I always ask, how long would you expect them to be fully contributing? And most people are like 6 months.
Yeah.
And I was like, but you hire an agency and you give us 6 days.
Right.
So we have a process called the first 90, and we do that with all of our clients in the first 90 days. And then at the end of that 90 days, what you have is a 3-year picture and a 1-year plan. And then we execute those rocks or priorities with the client on those projects in 90-day cycles.
Okay.
And it really just brings clarity to where we're heading. It
Got
brings
it.
alignment with sales and marketing. It leaves room to react within a quarter, but it kind of diminishes that need to change everything every week.
Got it. So you use EOS to deliver your services, your expertise to the client in a way.
We use the 90-day cadence of
Okay.
EOS to deliver that to our clients, whether they run on EOS or not.
Okay.
Now, it's a perfect fit for someone who runs on EOS.
Sure.
So I would say 60% of our clients do run on EOS, and so the language that we use is very native for them.
They understand rocks and the time.
Even
frames.
my 20-year-old client that we've had,
Yeah.
that's a large real estate holding company. When they reached back out to me in early 2024 and said, "Hey, we want to reconnect with you," and I started talking to them, they ran on EOS.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
So it's one of those things. If you haven't heard about EOS, you're going to hear it 7 times in the next week.
Yeah,
right? It's very,
right.
very prevalent.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Of the 11 companies that we have in the portfolio, I think 2 are using EOS.
Okay.
And I talk about it. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah,
You should
yeah.
try it. And, to each his own, right?
Yeah.
They have to want to do it for
Correct.
sure.
Yeah.
Because it's a process and it's a commitment. There's no doubt about it. But I
Correct.
mean, I do weekly calls on one of the companies I sit in as like a fractional CFO. And they use EOS, and I'm like, I'm sold on it.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
I'm definitely sold on it.
Yeah.
So tell me, let's shift gears and talk about AI a little bit. I mean, what tools are you using? What are you seeing? What are you doing with your clients today that you see as game changers? Things that are just
I mean, it's kind of become that thing where each AI is like its own person with its own personality and strengths,
Yeah.
and last fall, I kind of stopped chasing everything, and I'm like, what do we have? For copy, like I use ChatGPT.
Okay.
We're able to take full, put brand, voice, and tone, build custom GPTs internally that we can share. So like we have every client has a meetings GPT, so all of our Fathom notes hit a Google Doc.
okay.
And then we have a GPT, so anyone can actually query the meetings.
Wow.
So you can just pop in and be like, hey, what was the actions out of that last meeting? And then each one has copy. So if we've got a knockout, I mean, we still have the best copywriter in the world, like a real human writer who's freaking amazing. But once you get down the line and the tone and everything's set, then, we can write blurbs and little stuff super quick. So we have that. And then so clients have like point solutions and everyone has their own. So we don't mix copywriting with like a client discovery GPT.
Okay.
So we basically would use discovery when we're doing our first 90 days. Everything feeds that. We pull that out, put it into the copywriting one and feed that. And then I have what we call helpers.
Yeah.
So like for anything that's pointed, like sales email outreach, I just have a helper GPT. So I've told it who it is.
Yeah.
Right. You write, high performing emails for sales outreach, and
Right.
this is what you do and what you don't do. And I just have them bookmarked. I have 50.
Do you really? Jeez.
I mean, if it's HubSpot,
yeah.
and I'm like, hey, I just need to quickly figure out how to do this. Like, if it's WordPress, I mean, I just have them all pre-built out.
Yeah.
And we use Teams, so not Microsoft Teams. We use the Team version of ChatGPT Pro, so everybody can see them.
Got it.
So that's kind of like the writing side,
Yeah.
the strategy and planning side. Actually, plans. I mean, that's something we do well. I've always been I don't write for the thud factor. I don't want to I don't want to give a client anything because I feel like it needs to have a bunch of weight to it.
Yeah.
So how concise can we make deliverables? How lean can we be? But when it comes to writing plans, we do thorough plans.
Yeah,
And
I've seen y'all's work.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
That used to take me, 20 to 24 hours
Yeah.
to write an annual plan for a client, and now I'm doing it in 90 minutes.
Yeah.
But I have a GPT built just for that.
Yeah.
But then on the image side, what's gotten crazy is, we were playing around with Midjourney and everything over the past few years, but when Nano Banana and Gemini came out, and we're a Google shop, so we've got Gemini and Nano Bananas in there. And now Nano Banana can actually integrate with Photoshop. So, it's actually gotten to where, you can in Photoshop, take a picture of a building that has a sign on it and just say, change the name of the sign to this. And it just does it. It's crazy. You can, like, just a little part of it, But like real estate renderings, we used to pay artists to do watercolor renderings for all this new development stuff. And we're doing that in
just knocked that
6
out?
minutes. And the clients are like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
Some of the stuff we haven't even figured out how to value yet.
Yeah.
It's like,
You do it
here,
so
just
fast.
have it. It moved us along so much
Right.
further. But so we're doing a lot of images. We actually can take, I guess I'll say the word here, but we're in a full production studio, so I don't want Will to think that we're
Right.
competing with him. But like we basically have a full AI, photo studio now, because like for our whole team, we've got all the headshots. We can create an image of any of us doing anything,
Yeah.
and it's crazy how good it's gotten. So with clients, we have a client who is a consulting firm. They want to lead with their team members.
Yeah.
So we're just like, send us headshots. We can go in there and actually
anything.
we can put them on bar stools. We could have them having a conversation, and you can't tell. So just that ability, all those things that used to take time and planning that were critical. Mm-hmm. We're just seeing that we can just do those things so much more efficient.
It just changes the face of the agency model completely.
Yeah.
You can deliver so many more services with not necessarily fewer people per se, but everybody can use these different tools to their level of expertise and deliver something amazing to the client.
Yeah, absolutely.
God.
Yeah, and last spring we have a client who, from a lead gen perspective, we wanted to do a price calculator, and she asked about it, and I was like, we could do that. I'm going to have to charge it, plan it, scope it. We're going to have to build it. And then, we went back to her in the fall, so 6 months later, and I was like, I can build that this week. And so we were able to actually build out the whole thing. I'm able to QA it internally, get it published on the site, and it's live.
Are you just adjusting to figure out how to price for all this stuff now? The business model's got to be changing.
Yeah, I think. We've always, we track hours for an internal metric, but we don't sell hours. It's obviously, it's the unit of currency that you have as a professional services firm. But, we were never like, oh, well, you're just paying us based on the hours that we use every month. So I think agencies that did that, or any professional service firm, is really just consumption model. That's huge. That's a threat. But if clients are like, no, I'll pay you X for this thing,
for this project,
and they'll still pay you X for that thing.
Right.
We just may be able to get it done a lot more efficiently.
A lot faster.
Yeah, but I do think that what I'm saying is, there's a lot of, especially entrepreneurs, that are curious and innovative people who are using a lot of these tools too.
Yeah.
So, I say the microwave didn't kill the chef, right? You still have nice restaurants with good food,
Absolutely.
but I can also pop something in the microwave in 90 minutes. There are people who, just from a DIY perspective, are empowered now, who are going to do their own thing. But they'll hit a scale too, right? Because you create this technical debt of like, you've built this thing in Lovable or whatever, and you're the only person that has admin to it, and now you're the bottleneck for all of it. And so we'll go through that phase, and then I think agencies are nimble and creative, and we shift all day long.
Sure.
Right? So I think the agency model is a very healthy place for clients to be like, well, I'd rather experiment with you.
Yeah.
You show me how we can do this.
Yeah.
And let's do something small and see how it works,
Right.
than like internally pivot and them try to do it themselves.
Sure. What's your vision with Wonder? I mean, where are you going to take this thing?
So I had a 10-year target when
Yeah.
I started at 50,
Okay.
and the goal was to build a business of value.
Yeah.
Because 95% of agencies close their doors and don't transition.
Right.
So we want to build a business of value.
Okay.
We've got a really good, we call it know-how. Like me, Mark, Warren, and Andy, our leadership
Yeah.
team, are all 30-year agency
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
right? So we want to build a business that has a succession plan that we
Cool.
can hand to the younger team and
Yeah.
give them a path, and just agencies don't have an exit strategy,
Right.
But we want to build a business of value, let it keep growing,
Yeah.
but that as long as it's healthy and profitable. I think marketing is about control, not growth, always,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So as long as we can market, control the type of work that we do, have a profitable business, that's
That's
the
hard to
goal.
beat.
Yeah,
That's hard to beat for
It
sure.
is, yeah.
Most of the founders I work with are dreaming about a profitable business.
Yes, yeah.
They're like, one day, can we get profitable? Because it's just, the startup grind. It's in all the software companies. I mean, it is invest, build, and now, of course, the way they build the software is changing so rapidly.
Yeah.
It's hard to even keep up with that. But they're burning so much money on sales and marketing and engineering and design and everything else. And it's like they're just, how do we get to $1 million in revenue? How do we get to
Yeah.
$1.5 million in revenue so that we can just break even and not have to raise any more capital? It's tough.
No, it is. And on that specifically, that was one of our things, is just starting to look at the trailing 12 months. The idea of the gap and the gain is like, if you look at the horizon, you're always chasing it, you're never going to get there. But if you pause and look back, you can see how far you've come.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the things that EOS does too, is you're living in 90-day cycles towards a 1-year plan.
Yeah.
And when you actually say you're going to do it and you commit to it, like so last year was our first full calendar year for our team.
Okay.
Right. Because we started, Mark and I started small. And then we brought on Warren in June of 2024, and then we started adding to the team. So we've added about a person a quarter.
Right.
But just looking at that growth from a head count, and then just seeing the revenue continue to go up. And I think, last January when we set our end-of-year target, we wanted to hit $900,000 in revenue.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
going to $1 million, and we hit $889.
Dang.
But like in June, we were like, it felt like it was such
far
a stretch,
away.
And now we started this year, and like our run rate's awesome.
Yeah.
And so there is that. I do encourage everybody. If you're always trying to chase the future, you never really get to enjoy the present.
Yeah.
And look at how far you've actually come.
Well, I mean, I think it's the power of EOS to some degree. I mean, you guys have used that tool, and it's delivering results for y'all. There's no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, we commit, and we hired. So Andrew Geisel is our implementer. He's here in Greenville.
Okay.
And when Mark and I decided we're going to do this and grow it, I actually set our focus day with Andrew, which was June 6th of 2024. And I didn't even have Warren, my integrator, on board yet.
Okay.
So then we hired Warren in May, and we're like, all right, we're doing this thing. So we started day one with the three of us.
Had Warren been working with EOS as well, or was he fresh to it?
So Warren wanted to do it. He was
Yeah.
familiar with it. He wanted to do it at Fuel, which
Yeah.
is the agency he had sold.
Right.
And which that's funny because, Fuel was founded because Warren was mine and Bill Donahue's client. And then, then it was me and
Full
Bill,
circle.
Scott and Eric, and then it was me and Bill, and then Bill and Warren, and then Warren and other people, and then just Warren, and then he sold it. So it's been awesome to see your
Fuel's been around.
It has, but and it's still kicking.
Still kicking it. That's right.
So that's fun. But he had wanted to implement it. There is I forget that. I think it's called the Crystallizer, like on Rocket Fuel University. There's an assessment
Okay.
that you can take, and it'll tell you what your propensity to be an integrator or a visionary is. And, I had started with Adam as an integrator, but I'm a 68 on that assessment. I'm an
Okay.
86 on visionary.
Okay.
Warren wanted to do EOS.
Yeah.
He's a 92 on integrator.
Wow.
But he's not a visionary. So
Yeah.
he was running his own business, and it just sucked his soul
No
because he
kidding.
wasn't the guy that cast a
Yeah, he
vision and
wasn't
lead
the
the
vision.
team. He was like, I need someone to do the front of the house so I can do
Right.
the back of the house. So
Huh.
it was just a perfect fit for us.
That's super cool. Awesome. Any words of wisdom for the founders out there that are out grinding away, trying to build?
I mean, the thing that I would say I've committed to myself is just the persistence.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy to just to get beat down and get caught in the grind,
Yeah.
you know. But really, that's just part of the entrepreneur journey.
Yeah.
You know, I think I joke and say my business card expires every 4 years because I would get bored and I'd hop.
Yeah.
But at 50, I committed to this one thing
Yeah.
till 60.
Yeah. I hear
I'm
ya.
like, and my word is perseverance. Like I just have to be persistent and
keep doing it.
persevere
Keep
and just
doing it.
keep doing it because that's part of the journey.
Yeah, well, you don't want to start over at 55 again.
No.
It's like, no, thanks. I know. I was telling somebody the other day, it's like I've really only one time made it to the end of one of my companies. I've never made it. Like I've always gotten fired or I've quit or whatever. Like but it's after 4 or 5 years. It's like I think I need to do something different.
So actually, I think that's a cool thing that EOS does is because you could chase squirrels, right?
Yeah.
We can as entrepreneurs go off and
Oh,
see
yeah.
opportunity everywhere, but it gives you 90 days. Right, you set what squirrel you can chase
Yeah.
for 90 days. So every 90 days, you kind of get a new squirrel.
Yeah, that's a good
but that squirrel keeps you on path to the
Right.
bigger squirrel that you're chasing, right? And so I do think that there's a lot of that that freedom that comes to be entrepreneurial, to pursue new things,
Yeah.
but commit to a framework that the whole team can buy into.
No, I think that's a great
and
point.
it takes that shiny object syndrome
No, that's a
off the
great
table.
point. Well, yeah, you're building for the long haul now,
Yeah.
and you just do it in these 90-day increments and 1-year increment or whatever it is. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. I can't believe you're in the studio next door. on
Yeah,
your own
tomorrow we'll be
podcast.
in there. A little plug here, inside90.com.
That's right. That's right. 9-8 Central is where we operate these things. So
Yeah.
we both operate out of this place. So, well, thanks again for coming out. It's great having you. And ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jami Mullikin with Wonder.
Thank you very much. You can check us out at workwithwonder.com.
That's it. Workwithwonder.com. Founderville.vc podcast. We are over and out.